If you're new to taking online courses at DSU or in Blackboard, I encourage you to watch this video where I walk you through key components of the course. So when you log into the course in Blackboard, I'm in student view right now, so what I'm seeing is exactly what you would see if you were logging into this course on Sunday evening, a couple days before the course opens. So you're going to see several things. You'll see DSU course tools. The most important thing there probably for you is going to be the information from the Stockton Library. Library resources aren't necessarily going to be super important in this course, but they might be helpful in a couple of things that we do. Course information is where you should begin the semester. So there are several things to find here. There is a welcome page from me. There is a welcome video if you want to hear and see me. There is a link to your textbook. Your textbook is an OER textbook. In other words, it is an open educational resource. It is available free online. For those who prefer print copies are available to purchase on Amazon and elsewhere. There is also a hard copy on reserve in the library if you are near campus over the summer. Please review the syllabus of the course. The syllabus will talk about the things we're going to do and course policies. I have what I have frequently asked questions document about history and my teaching of history courses. This is a good place to take a few minutes to read through. It is kind of long. There is an optional discussion board in this module as well. It's called History Q&A. This is a place where any time in the semester you can just go there and ask a question. If there's something you want to know more about that your book doesn't go into in a lot of detail, if you're not sure about something in your book, if you sort of have a general question that you think is either related to history, or if it's a course thing that you think is relevant to more than just you. So obviously, if you have a question that's about your grade or about your submission, don't post it to the discussion board. Send me an email or message me in Blackboard. But for a question about history, sort of this type of thing you might ask about, in a lecture class or before or after class, feel free to post any questions here. And then if you want to know more about me, there's a video that I have here. I made it because some colleges require me to make it, so I just have a very generic one there. So Module 1 is ready to go. Module 2 is not. It's open for you, but you aren't going to, there's stuff missing from it still. Modules will typically look like this. There will be a to-do list. The to-do list will indicate the things that you need to do in that module. So pretty typical. There's a little more in Module 1 because we have some introductory material to get through, but you're going to typically read 2 chapters in the textbook. There are going to be lecture videos for you to view. There will be a main discussion board. There's 2 discussion boards in Module 1. The other, we'll just have 1 discussion board. There will be additional resources for you to explore. There will be a primary source analysis assignment, and then there will be a quiz. And that will typically be most modules. A few modules have something extra as well in terms of 1 extra assignment. So for the welcome discussion board, so here you see my post. Your post doesn't have to be this long, although it can be. Please post about yourself following the information given. Please review the lecture videos. And then we have additional resources. Most of these additional resources are going to be optional. I recommend looking at them, at least a few of them. At times, I'm going to specify that I want you to view something or read something. And so notice here, historical concepts, I've asked that you skim both of these articles. I'm not asking you to read them word for word, but I want you to get an idea of some of the debates that go on in history. And then the other information, there's both some videos and some articles, as well as some primary sources about things like Native Americans, about initial European explorations and settlement in terms of the Mayflower, English colonization, French colonization, Spanish colonization, Dutch colonization, Swedish colonization. I don't expect you to read all of these things, but again, I encourage you to look at least a few that are interesting to you. So here's your main discussion board. This is where you are going to pick a question. So I have 5 questions for this first board. You're going to pick one to answer. You will answer it following the guidelines. And then once you've answered And once other people have answered, reply to 2 of your peers. There will be a primary source analysis in each module, except the final one. There we go, start attempt 1. These are assignments for you to do. They are going to see primary sources for you to analyze, and then you're going to answer a question about the source that you analyze. So for part A here, you have 3 choices. You only need to answer the question over one of them. Now, I encourage you to read more than one or skim more than one. Pick your favorite to answer a question over. Notice here I have questions 1 and 2. You only need to answer one of them. And then answer the question, how might historians use this source? For part B, same thing. I have 3 sources for you to choose from. Pick whichever one interests you the most. After reviewing it, answer one of the first 2 questions, and then answer the question, how might historians use the source? Please submit your answers as a document in one of these formats. Please don't submit something in Google Docs or a Pages document or a link, because I won't be able to access them. I'm going to ask you to resubmit, and it's going to receive a late work penalty. So what you will do is make sure you add a file here by making an attachment. Do not, I repeat, do not just type your answer in here. I want to see a file. Exit from there. Whoops, not exit from there. Exit from here. And then there will be a quiz each week. The quizzes are typically 10 questions. They're multiple choice. They do have a time limit. And you have unlimited attempts. Each attempt, you're going to get a different set of answers. So in general, each module will work the same way. There are a couple of exceptions. Partway through, there will be an extra exam, a midterm exam in one of the modules. There will be a final exam at the end. Again, same format as the quizzes, but with one attempt, a single attempt only, and more time than just 20 minutes. There will be an essay you're going to write near the second half of the course, and you're going to do a PowerPoint presentation as well, and those instructions will be up as we get closer to when you need to start thinking about those assignments. Because I am recording lecture videos sort of as we go, I am going to be opening modules as the summer goes on. Right now, I am a little bit behind schedule because I had some issues with the quiz for the next module, and I am going to a conference, which is going to disrupt my schedule for a little bit. But I anticipate getting caught up within a week or so. And a few other things just to keep in mind. The announcements tab, I will post announcements weekly in the course, so please be in the habit of checking for announcements. If I have to make a change to the syllabus, for example, or if I've given new information somewhere, I will post that in an announcement. You can access discussions from here, from the discussions tab. I strongly encourage that you not do that. I encourage you to work through the modules and to access the discussions from those in the module. The gradebook is where your grades will be entered. And so if you've even entered this is something that students had an issue with in one of the classes I taught last fall at DSU. Make sure you actually submit something. If you just start something and don't submit it, it's just going to be a draft, like you see here, draft saved. That was when I went through the primary source analysis one and didn't finish it. I just sort of started it. If you don't actually submit, I can't, as the instructor, see it. I can't grade it. That means it's a 0. So if you see draft saved, that's fine, but make sure you submit it. So you'll see here the grade, the points possible. So for things that have not yet been started on. So that's the grade book. Messages are where you can send me a message. Again, you can also email me. If you email me, you have to use your DSU email. But messages, you're free to send me a message from Blackboard. And then groups is not something we're going to worry about. I do want to point out for messages from Blackboard, don't send me a message in Blackboard if you want a quick response. you'll probably get a quicker response sending me an email than a Blackboard message, because Blackboard messages, because of the way it's set up at the NDUS system, don't come to me automatically. They come to me once a day. And so if that time happens to be the time sort of after I've checked my email for the day, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. So I encourage you, if you need a quicker response, to send me an email. I will, when I see a message in Blackboard, respond to it within a day. But again, I don't always see them immediately because of the way it works. So if you need a response by the next day, send an email. If you need a response within 2 days, then Blackboard is okay. And I'm usually quicker with Blackboard than 2 days, but it can take a little longer because, again, it doesn't get to me automatically for reasons that I'm not quite sure why they don't have it set up for that. So again, most of the time you're going to just work in content. Do check announcements. Obviously check your grades, but really that's the main thing. The calendar will tell you when things are due as they get in there. So for example, there are items due on June 3rd. Everything in this course is typically due on Monday evenings, with the exception of the final week, which ends on a Friday, I believe. If you have questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a great summer.